Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I am one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, my very good friend. Here we are for the Love Island final for season 2 of Love Island USA. And Chris, I'm going to say it for the last time this season. Where do you want to start today?
Dave, we've got to start with the end, I think, if you don't mind. I think we got the result we wanted. The main people won it, so we got Caleb and Justine. I forgot the names then. Caleb and Justine. How the hell I forget the names? I do not know. And I think that's the right decision. It went down pretty much how we'd said, Dave, wasn't it? We were bang on with the predictions. It was a nice episode. Everyone, they all looked great. The guys looked really good. The girls looked stunning. Everyone, there was no real drama to it. They obviously had to put the knife in with Sally and Johnny again, Dave, but that's a standard procedure in it. Catherine Moore will never leave them two, I think, for forever and a day. But
No, not at all. And can I just say, actually, so I can't remember which email it was now. Someone had recommended we listen to that. Was it Steve's Reality TV? I think it was
yeah,
the Trey interview. It's really good, Chris. He really doesn't hold back. I can't see that him and Johnny will have much of a relationship outside of the villa. But yeah, he was definitely calling him an actor and saying, he knew Sally would be faithful, so that's why he did what he did. And yeah, as far as he was concerned, he said he wouldn't be surprised if Johnny had taken all the money. Said he didn't
yeah.
think he would, but he wouldn't be surprised either.
He did say it to Caleb and went, "Oh, I'm only joking. Take
Yeah.
the money. Take the money." Yeah.
Oh, I'm almost sad now that Johnny and Sally didn't win because it could have happened, Chris. It could have happened.
I think he would have done, Dave. He might have been joking and then winking, going, "Take the money,"
Yeah.
like that. It's like, fuck off. He would have gone away with it. I mean, he's quite. We said this, didn't we? The last week, he's always quite vanilla. It's just it runs once they don't show any drama. They're all the couples are getting on, so there isn't really anything to talk about when it comes to that. That's what we love, don't we? The bitching and the cat fighting, and I think. Obviously, they won. I must admit, Dave, I thought that was a bit of a shock what Carrington said about when we move in together. That was really, I wasn't expecting that at all. I'm not saying that they're not split up already by now, but it just seemed a really bizarre thing to say, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he's got taken away with the red dress there.
Yeah.
I do think, like you say, they all look fantastic, but I do think Laurel in the red dress. I think it's something about a red dress, Chris. It just looks amazing. But yeah, they all looked absolutely fantastic. I don't really honestly give Carrington I don't give Carrington and Laurel too long, but you know what? I could be wrong.
Yeah, Dave, we've said this before, haven't we? Some of our predictions are outlandish. I must admit, he looks a bit like James Bond tonight. He was definitely the right gear he had on. He proper looks slick.
Which suit would you have gone for, Chris, if you had the choice of the different suits?
I think Johnny's was quite nice
Yeah,
actually. Suit was pretty smart, to be honest.
I'd have gone for Johnny's, the classic kind of James Bond style, all black. That's me. That is.
Yeah, he did. He looked pretty smart, to be honest. And look, you're looking at all of them. Ariel came in. Obviously, this is going to be her last show, Dave, when she takes over from me on the here. Good for her to go out with a bang, sort of thing. But I'm still waiting for that phone call, but nothing. But yeah, I think as well. Like you're watching the way it unfolded. It unfolded, like I said at the start. It unfolded the way we wanted, the way we expected. It would have been a travesty if they'd not won it. And I do think. I hope they do some sort of catch up episode. I know in the UK in the next couple of weeks, they're doing a Where Are They Now one from all the seasons that have been on previously, Dave. So they're picking out
Ah,
different contestants. So I think I don't think it's next week. It might be the week after. It could be next week, but it's basically these people you won't know though. That's the problem
mm.
because there's a couple of the first couple of seasons you've not done. So, but it looks interesting. So I'm definitely going to be watching that. So that might be something to come on here and chat about. But obviously, review context wise, we're probably going to have to go back and do some of them.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that was one of the things that Trey said. He on his interview, he wasn't sure that there was going to be another like a reunion. He said he hoped there was, but at the time he didn't know. Tell you what, Chris, you could, or we could reach out to him. So apparently, this guy just reached out to him on Instagram and said, "Do you want to do an interview?
What did
Let's
we
get
say
him on."
about him, Dave?
Yeah, I know. I'll have to check the back episodes first.
I'll be like, it wasn't me, mate. It wasn't me. It was Dave.
No, I
Yeah, it
think
wasn't me. Yeah,
oh
I'm
come on,
joking.
I don't think we said anything too bad. I think we would absolutely. I was going to say we'd absolutely call him out, for certainly the first few days. But I did like Trey. I thought he was a little bit blindsided when he went out, wasn't he? But
Yeah,
he was good fun, I thought, and he was the only one trying to keep James in his lane, wasn't he? So,
yeah,
but
yeah.
anyway,
He was, to be
so
fair.
we can do all of that. Yeah, so I do think Johnny wears the suit a bit better than I would, though. To be fair, what do you reckon to the speeches, Chris?
Um, they didn't write him, Dave. Let's be honest.
I was going to say they were
They did
really
not.
good, weren't they? And
They were brilliant.
when Johnny was there, like, oh yeah, I've finished this book and I'm waiting to start another. You could tell he's just not opened it and he's fucking clueless. But then the words that come out of his mouth for the speech, you're like, yeah, you've not written that.
Yeah, he's not really that. I honestly think, I actually think Freckles' was the best, Dave. I'll be
Yeah,
honest
and
with you.
again, I liked. I know. So Terence has said, he's called us out for going back, swinging again for Calvin and Moira. He's definitely Team Carrington, and that's fair enough. I just think this last week, I don't think they've done much wrong, and I like that goofiness. And when he gets down on one knee, again, it's
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
just them being a bit goofy, isn't it? So yeah, they turned it round, and like you said yesterday, we thought they'd come in third. But yeah, speaking of poems that other people have written, Chris, got in touch with the producers to help us out, and I do have a little poem for us.
Oh, very. I don't know anything
Just
about
just
this,
for me
Dave.
and you, right? This is for fucking surprising me last week with your audition.
You've surprised me with this, though. Go ahead.
Now, producers, can we have some lovely music? Maybe we'll do that in post production.
I was gonna go.
All right, that works as well. Now, Chris, we met in a band called whatever. Who knew back then we'd be podcasting forever? We talk reality TV and Love Island shows.
I'm not getting the timing. It's like me with a fucking tambourine, Dave. I could never get the timing.
Oh dear. No, I'll do that one again. We talk reality TV and Love Island shows. This season, my good friend, we bring to a close. There you go, Chris.
That was nice. That I was expecting some joke about a body part of mine, Dave, but that's fine. That's very
Well, the
nice. That.
alternate line was, when you replace Ariel, I'm going to miss your big nose.
I
But
still like it. I
but
bet the abuse, Dave.
I thought I'd surprise you with making you think there was a nose joke and not actually being there. So
No, that's very nice. That. Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, there's not really much else to say about the final, is there? I will say as well, I didn't call it out yesterday, but Matt Hoffman again, I think he's been one of the highlights of this season for me. I thought I went back and watched again the yesterday's episode, and that's a fucking sad is that, Chris. Yeah, I just loved his Caesar promotion. When he's singing along and just basically singing what's happening on the screen. And he's like, yeah, they're pouring coloured sand into a glass. I just thought it was brilliant. So, yeah, definitely a massive step up from last season. What,
Yeah,
what,
he's
do you,
been.
what do you think are some of the highlights for you, Chris?
I agree. I think he's been top man, actually, Dave. He's been pretty much like Ian off the UK one, Annie Dave. He's been really, really good. And I think we obviously watched the first series, and it was very. I don't know what time this airs in the US properly, because
I
obviously
think
it's
it's not
different time.
9 o'clock. Is it
Yeah,
Eastern, though? You got
he's
like 3 different time zones, haven't you?
yeah, because I think with him, when we did the first series, it was on a bit of an earlier slot,
It
I
was 8
think.
o'clock, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very vanilla, wasn't it? It was very like there wasn't a lot of. He didn't take the piss out of people or anything. He just sort of read it for what's going on the screen. This time, it was a lot more like the UK one. To be fair, it was pretty good, and the Aussie one was good. Dave, we've just done that first series, haven't we? back
Yeah.
to front with the second series and the first series. But the first series, he was really good, 100%
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he deserves, Matt. He's a good guy, and he has proper made me laugh. I think the one highlight out of the whole series would be, I don't know, maybe the drama, the curtain twitching neighbour that I am is when Johnny came back from Casa Amor, knowing what he'd done, how he would have, he came in all kissing Sally, and he's like, I need to tell you something. And she's like, what? And
Yeah.
then obviously we've never heard the end of it since. That's his own fault. But yeah, that was probably as a Love Island moment that I don't know if there's anything I really hated about the series. I'm sure I've said I hated different things other than the baby thing from yesterday. I hate that, that. But I don't think there's been anything else. I've really enjoyed this series, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's been really good. Like I say, massive step up from last season. I do think I don't know if you caught on Instagram, Chris. Kenner and Kenner. It could be Kenner. Connor and Mackenzie, seem to be
Yeah.
loved up. I can't. I think they're in the Mirage or somewhere. I think they're still in Vegas. But yeah, they definitely seem loved up. Again, Trey was Trey found out on this interview, and he's like, "Oh man, just grow a pair." so, so I don't think they'll necessarily. I don't think they'll necessarily go the distance unless, Mackenzie really looks back at some of her behaviour and then sort of adjusts that a little bit. But I'm pretty sure they'll both have a good time in the hotel. And when Connor's wish runs out and he goes back to being a 14-year-old boy, he'll have had the time of his life.
And Mackenzie can go on with the billionaires again, Dave, because Vegas has got plenty of sharks. That's what they call them, the billionaires.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've seen that. But Dave, just to top off this season, and it's been great. Honestly, I was trying to count how many emails and stuff we've had. We've had loads. It's been ridiculous. It completely blew our minds. Literally, how many people want watch Love Island anyway and admit it. And I'm like, we're so glad we found two people who watch it with us because it's like an acquired taste, Love Island. I understand that, but we've had some cracking emails, tweets again, haven't we, Dave?
Yeah. Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, we've had I mentioned Terence before, said can't believe you're back on the Moira and Calvin train. We've had Geek Girl Soup, and this is post the final, obviously. So as cheesy as they are, these declarations of love are just what we need after that shit show of a debate last night. And fuck me, Chris, I don't know if you saw any of that, but Jesus Christ, there should be a third option. I'm not voting for any of these fuckers. But I don't like salt politics. But fuck me, that really was a shit show.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. Anyway,
There's nothing you can say other than
no,
we got fucking
we've
Boris,
got.
so we can't
I was
really
going to
say
say
anything. So,
we've not got anyone fucking better. So yeah.
so just had a message in from Instagram as well. It says, this is from La Boudica Arcino, I think. It says, I'm so very glad I found your podcast. Absolutely the best one out there for Love Island I've found. I laughed so hard alone in my car at the Make-A-Wish big comments. It is 100% Connor. And then it was mentioned his childish behaviour in the hideaway. That made me laugh even harder. I would love as well a review of Love Island 2 UK. It's still my favourite season, and I can rewatch along over and over again with a hilarious duo. So, Chris, what an amazing message as well. I just so humbled by everything, but let's hear the emails.
Yeah, so Dave, we've had an email from the lovely Shannon in Vancouver. Now, Shannon, I'm going to do a bit of PR for you. My sister lives over there, my brother-in-law. If you're ever in downtown Vancouver, get over to Virtuous Pie. It's a vegan pizza restaurant, Dave, and it's one of the best because my brother-in-law is the chef. Anyway,
Nice.
yeah, Virtuous Pie, very, very nice. I've still not been Vancouver, and my sister's lived there. She's now a Canadian resident for about 7 or 8 years, but it's amazing city, Dave. So anyway, just getting that in there, Dave. If you
Cool.
need an
No,
Airbnb
good
when
plug. Good
we
plug.
go off that, yeah. So, hi from Vancouver, guys. Just wanted to say how much I love listening to your recaps. I'm new to podcasts, and as I'm working from home now, and I like to pass my time slacking off. Yeah, that's exactly what we like doing. You guys always make me laugh, and I love the real opinions you give. I agree that Carrington is a douche, and Laurel could do better. I disagree, though, with your opinion of Moira and Freckles. I think they ended up together because they both weren't getting on with anyone else, and they wanted to stay on the show. I hope Justine and Caleb win. As this is obviously before the end. Caleb and win as they seem the most genuine and are so damn cute. Well, you're correct, Shannon. And Caleb is easy on the eyes. Anyway, cheers to the finale. I'll be listening to you guys again, Shannon. So thanks, Shannon. Really, really good here. A cracking email, that.
That's great, that. And I do have to say, Moira and Calvin, because we've definitely flip flopped on them. I think they divide the opinion the most, don't they? Just because of what happened, she's flaky as fuck at the start,
Yeah.
Jumping from ship to ship. He was the same, I don't see, honestly, the spark that he felt he had with Cher. He was saying, "Oh, you challenge me" and all that, but Cher was never really feeling it. Um, I don't see that, but I think it's just grown from that friendship and that goofiness. So at the moment, I'm kind of like 55%, Moira and Calvin, 45% not. So, but I can see why people would see it, different ways.
Yeah, I do as well, and it's quite the way we've sort of slightly turned. So I understand people calling us out. It does seem quite genuine at the moment. Maybe my heart is melting, Dave, after 6 weeks of it. So the next one's from Anna and Scott, our good friends again, and it just says victory. Hi guys, in a year that has felt like everything has gone upside down, a Jaleb victory is just that much sweeter. Even Freckles and Moira grew on me by the end. My Grinch heart grew 3 sizes every time he called her Miss Moira. Wondering if Carrington waited until he got to McCarran Air International to break up with Laurel, or he did it in the cab on the way over. You should have run a book on that, Dave. You'd have got made a lot of money. Let's also appreciate that when Caleb won the cash, Johnny's instinct was to tell him to keep it. Selly is going to have a lot of uncomfortable realities to face when she gets out of the villa. I hope she bets on herself going forward and folds on that relationship. Once again, I just wanted to thank you guys for putting on a great podcast every day. I know it slightly feels like a slog, but it was something light-hearted and positive to enjoy when things have otherwise been a wee bit bleak. Good on you both. Many thanks, Anna and Scott. So thank you so much, guys, and especially Scott, because he's been there all the way through this day with Anna. So brilliant.
Absolutely, it's great, and especially this last week, it does feel a bit like a slog, doesn't it? But honestly, Chris, I feel a bit more energized this time because we've just been overwhelmed by all the emails, haven't we? Because, like I say, when we're watching something on catch up and not watching along real time, we can see from the download numbers, there's plenty of people still listening, but kind of they're not watching at the same time as you, and so you don't have kind of real time opinions on it. So no, it's been absolutely brilliant.
It has, Dave. And the final email of this series, guys. And don't worry if you want to send one in. I'm sure if we get a few more, we can do a little bit of a recap, can't we, Dave, and get everyone's emails out there because we don't like missing anybody out. But this one's from Dee Dee.
Not that we've got the correct email set up anyway.
Anyway, this one's from Dee Dee. It's been a long 6 weeks, David. A long 6 weeks. Hello, my friends. Just mute yourself, David, and stop it now. Just watching the big old Love Island finale with my wine, my couch, and my dog. The
That's
big
like me.
declaration. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, it does. I didn't have my Prosecco, actually, David, I watched it. The big declarations. Johnny, my ride or die. Laurel, in all my 22 years. That's the title.
Yeah,
Justine, I
forgot
love
about
you,
that.
King. Yeah, Caleb, the king and queen will weather any storm. Moira, I had walls. Freckles brought out the hopeless romantic in me. And Carrington, I came in a boy and I'm leaving a man with fucking driving gloves, I might add. Anyway, here comes Ariel. Oh my gosh, do we have to go over the relationships again? Anyway, as predicted, it's Justine and Caleb, so cheers all round. In other news, Dave, she has other news. So excited you were recapping the upcoming Bachelorette. There is another podcast I'm a big fan of that you lads might also enjoy. If you want to listen to anything other Bachelorette podcast, it's called Rosecast with Rim and AB, hosted by two guys from Iowa, good old Midwest USA. They recap the first season of Love Island, but they aren't doing this one. So, since I have a lot of time on my hands, global pandemic and all, I've told them about you guys and your awesome recaps. So that's brilliant. Rim, Tim Kennedy said he was watching, so I figured he would appreciate your commitment to the cause with your daily podcast. You guys should consider making guest appearances in each other's podcasts. The people need it, Dave. What will I do for the next week and a half while I wait for the Bachelorette and your podcast? Perhaps get to the gym, read a book, walk the dog, or drink some wine on the couch. All the best, Edie from Tempe, Arizona, Dave. So there's another belter, and I'll have to go listen to that podcast because it sounds like they're maybe on the same wavelength as us.
Yeah, so I've got it on my phone. I haven't had a chance to listen yet, but yeah, I'll be listening to that. And thanks ever so much. We'll definitely have a listen. I'm sure we'll be reaching out at some point. Chris, I can't wait for this fucking lockdown to be over, though. I'm drinking way too much wine as well. It's not good. At least the gyms are open now, but yeah, need to sort that out.
Yeah, I think as well, though, Dave. By the looks of it, we're going into a second one in the UK, so we might be doing another daily podcast.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Bachelor's like weekly, isn't it? So it's not too bad. I know it's funny. Everyone seems to be gravitating to that second season of Love Island, so I am intrigued. So maybe we'll do a retro review as well of that. Maybe not daily, but we'll see how things go.
Yeah, exactly. It's been great. No, Dave, I really appreciate it, Dave, as well, because it's a big commitment. We do this, late at night, don't we? So it's, we both work and we both do it for fun because we love reality TV, and we just appreciate all you guys for tuning in, supporting us, calling us out. We love it all. And I want to say a big thanks, actually, Dave. Some fantastic emails, but good old Terence on Twitter. He's brilliant. He just every day we get a tweet going at us. He disagrees with us on everything, but he does it. He does it in such a nice way that he's such a nice guy, and everyone's been so good. It's so humbling because we're just nobody's, Dave. We just love doing podcasts and talking about this. I've dragged you into my world of reality TV, and you are not getting out, my friend.
And if you're not absolutely sick of us, and you can't wait for the next Bachelorette sort of season to kick up. I mean, Chris, you're away, aren't you? Be sunning yourself up. You can always get across to the VHS Strikes Back podcast as well. We cover some of the 80s and 90s type movies there, and you could actually pop a promo in, maybe, Chris. Pop in the ad.
Yeah.
In a world of video stores and late fees, when movies ain't what they used to be, one podcast will change the world. They will embark on a journey to look at the good and bad movies from the golden era of home video. And things are about to get nostalgic. The VHS will rise and the screaming will fall.
Whoa. Dave, this has got to be the worst promo I have ever heard.
No, it isn't.
If you're going down the route of the video trailer, man, Dave, I want a training montage.
Coming soon on a podcast near you. If you listen to one podcast this week, then you're probably listening to Joe Rogan. But if you've exhausted all other podcasts, then the VHS Strikes Back is one to try.
So yeah, if you want to listen to us, go on. We definitely talk a bit about ourselves, don't we? Probably a bit too much. Hope my mum never hears that, especially the American Pie one. But yeah, so have a listen to that if you're trying to figure out how to get across the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, definitely. No, thanks, Dave. And as always, guys, if you want to follow us at CD RealityCast, if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com, and we will see you in a couple of weeks because the Bachelorette starts. I think it's week commencing the 12th, Dave, is it? The 12th of October. So we will be all over that.
Yep, I think it's the 13th, isn't it, that it airs. Yeah. So yeah, Chris, I'm going to say it for the last time this season. Bye now.
Bye.